Happy Friday, folks. We made it to the end of yet another week. Got a big name right here. Got this from a buddy of mine back in my old days in Connecticut, my high school days, Donnie. It's called Everyday Fog. If you heard about it, you know who it's from. Abomination Brewing Company. Oh, I'm excited to try it, so why don't we do just that and explore this together right after the theme song. Welcome on back into the Midland studio with your host, yours truly, Nutmeg 2 Palmetto. We've done a lot of different unique styles on the channel lately. Let's trek back to Old Reliable and do a New England Hazy. But I know lately the hazies haven't always necessarily been impressing me, but hopefully I've stretched out them with enough of other styles to keep my palate a little bit more fresh. If New England style and hazies are your thing, work your way on down to the comments. You will find a link in the comments below. It's pinned right at the top. It's a playlist to all the other New England styles that I've done in the past. So work your way on through that. If you like what I said about this one, see what I said about other New England styles, and see if you don't know if that's your thing. If you don't know that style is your thing, work your way on through those videos, and maybe they are. Maybe something kind of quirks your interest about this particular type of beer. It is, of course, from the very popular, very Titanic, what's the word? Abomination Brewing Company. They are back in my old stomping grounds in Connecticut. I don't know if I've had Abomination on the channel before, and I think I've said it in the past as well. I don't know if Abomination ever actually opened a storefront. They do their brewing and canning out of the 12% Beer Project in North Haven, and there are breweries, outfits that do go out of 12% that either had or they either previously had or still have storefronts, brick and mortar locations, and they may or may not even bother still operating them because they can get so much legwork out of 12%. But Abomination, I don't know. I don't think if they ever actually wound up opening one. They just hooked up with 12% pretty early and just start pumping their cans out, pumping their product out there. The ironic part is I've had more Abomination since living down south than I could find when I was living up in Connecticut. Figure that one out. I don't know. Although I do know a little bit of a tidbit. There is a nice little connection. I won't name drop or anything, but there's a nice little connection between a pretty prominent South Carolina brewery. I'll tell you they're in the Low Country, but I won't tell you anything more past that. There's a nice little connection between one of those places and one of the top members of 12%. So there might be some easy negotiations to get a pipeline of those beers done at 12% coming down into South Carolina. Who knows? Connect the dots a little bit. Sometimes it works. So let's check out the can. It's called Everyday Fog. Now this is a flagship series by Abomination for sure. The Fog series is people definitely know of. Do we have a date? 11/8/22. So when I'm recording this isn't more than a couple months old. So that's pretty darn fresh. It's a pretty solid and steady 7.1. That's not exactly super crushable, but it's not exactly super heavy either. And who knows, sometimes 7% drink like 4%, so maybe it is pretty crushable. There's not a lot of other details on the can, however, they do put a little thing on the side. I don't know what ABC quality means. Brewed and packaged by Abomination Brewing Company in North Haven, Connecticut. distributed by the 12% Beer Project. Yes, 12% Beer Project. That is, of course, the outfit in North Haven. Store cold, drink fresh, and they shout out the artist of the can label, art by Sam Heimer. Sam Hammer. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I'll hold that up because it's pretty simple, but it's also pretty dark and spooky. It's a nice can design, nice can label, I would say. Of course, a Titan beer like this, I have to drink it from a Titan in his own right, Mr. Eddie Whittingham out of the Clock Tower, tap from a billiards up in Simpsonville. Let's go over the stats. Now, this one is definitely a flagship beer, definitely something that gets produced a lot of because the check-ins are massive. 9,393 total, 8,500 of which are unique. A lot of rankings, 7,851. And that is a huge sample size, so you probably have to respect this global ranking, 4.03. That sounds pretty darn good. Little blurb. Quick hitter, just lists the hops. Double dry hop, double IPA with Mosaic, Pacific Jade, Citra, Summit, and Enigma. Now, obviously, I've had Mosaic. Obviously, I've had Citra. They're very common hops. Summit, I'm a little recognized. I've probably had 1 or 2 beers in the past with Summit hops. But Pacific Jade is a new one. And Enigma, I've heard of it before. I may have had it before, but it's not something that refreshes right to my memory banks. So that's 2 I'm extremely familiar with. 1 I'm a little familiar with, and 2 I'm probably not so much familiar with. So that's going to be very interesting to see how they come together in this hopefully little juice bomb that we've got here. So what do you say we waste no more further time? Crack this open together. Oh boy, I can smell it already. Everyday fog. Abomination. Color-wise, big, bright orange, yellowish. Yeah, nothing. There's nothing getting through there. Not remotely. I mean, I'm seeing a shadow, but I think it's just because of the light. Head's nice and frothy and creamy. Oh, I can already smell this before I even go full in. I can already smell a lot of orange and like creamsicle type of notes to it. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. There's a little bit of a hop presence in there, but it's not very strong. Yeah, the hop presence is very, very, very subtle. It's really a lot of that orange creamsicle. But it's not overpowering. Like, it's strong. It's strong. There's like, I mean, it could be this far away from your face and you'll smell it. So, I mean, it's definitely very strong, but it's definitely not, it's definitely not one of those like, whoa, what's going on? Well, that just smells all sorts of scrumptious. Let's not waste any more time and take a sip. Ooh. Hold me all over. All right, let's talk about it. It's Citra hopped. It's Mosaic hopped. I can definitely taste that because it definitely has a lot of that hoppy, bitter punch to it. I don't know. I'm not as familiar with Pacific Jade or Summit or Enigma. I've had some before. That name I recognize, but certainly not enough to have a legitimate flavor profile from it. But Pacific Jade and Enigma, I think I never heard of Pacific Jade. I think maybe I've heard Enigma before, but probably even less so than Summit. In fact, definitely less so than Summit. But it definitely punches you right up front with some hoppiness, hoppy bitterness. It settles down rather quickly though. Doesn't hang around and wreck your palate. It's actually got a very mild, almost nothing type of aftertaste. So that is not too shabby at all, I will say. Thanks to Donnie for throwing that my way in our little exchange we did. Whoops. Get that cord, get that cable out of your purview. Thanks again to Donnie for sending that my way in our little exchange. And if New England IPAs are your thing, and you want to see what I thought of other New England IPAs I've reviewed in the past, work your way on down to the comments. The first one pinned below is a link to a playlist of all the other New England styles that I've done in the past. Oh, it's carbonated too. If you like what you saw, smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell. Again, Drew, hard pouring does not lose the carbonation. Sorry, my friend. If you want to recommend a beer to me, send me a beer or just chat me up, email me, nutmeg2palmetto@gmail.com. If you want the rest of my day-to-day nonsense, follow me on my social media shows, TikTok and Instagram @nutmeg2palmetto. Oh boy, that's pretty heavy. Cheers, folks. I'll see you next time.